It's just a matter of me being healthy.
You was one of the first ones to say you would fight Spence. You still feel like you would fight Spence?
Yeah, especially after the last fight.
Yeah, what did you think about his fight against Mike?
I think it went I didn't watch the fight, but I know that it went exactly as I had predicted. He just walked Garcia down and wasn't even fazed by Garcia and did what he wanted.
Talking to Al, like your family from Texas, right? And girls from Texas, that would be a big fight for Texas.
Yeah, exactly. So it's come up in conversations, and I'm like, whenever, I don't care. I'm here to fight. I'm not here to pick and choose. I've never done that. I feel like a boxer should just fight and let his team handle the rest. And if you have a team for a reason, then why not trust who they think you're ready for or who you're not ready for? And that's all I do. It's like just I'll train my best. I will do my best when it comes to that. I'll be in shape and I'll do my best in the fight. But the character in the ring with me doesn't make a difference to me.
When are you slated to fight again? I'm late to the party, but
it's all right. Hopefully in the summer, late summer, or I don't know what season we're in right now, but I just know summer.
Any names?
No.
Any names?
I haven't been told anything.
How's camp been? You with Joel Diaz now, correct?
Yes, sir.
How's that coming?
Well, I've been with Joel. I've been with Joel since January 2012.
Okay.
But because of my injuries and whatnot, I wasn't able to spar. I wasn't able to even do mitts with him. So I was like, how am I going to California, away from my family, away from my kids? So I decided to move camp. Back home to Texas, and so now that I feel my hands were healthier and whatnot, I decided to come back with Joel, get better sparring. He has a few Russian, Uzbekistani guys that were Olympians and were medaled in the Olympics. So there's a lot of talent there with Joel, and that's why I told my brother too. I'm like, you need to get out of the valley. You need to find better sparring because you up the level of competition. That only makes you up your own game.
And I don't live in Texas. I don't get to interview you much, but it's been pros and cons as it relates to your career. Some people say you've been shooting yourself in the foot. Some people say you've been injured. How is Omar Figueroa moving forward in terms of the weight and injuries and, Well,
I mean, there's not much you can do when you're injured, as far as getting in the gym. I try to do my best to jog as much as possible, but I've been jogging my whole life. I've been fighting since I was 6 years old. This is my 23rd year fighting. My first fight, 22nd year fighting. And it takes a toll. And not just fighting, but I've been doing baseball, I've been doing basketball, I've done football, I did a lot of swimming. So it's not like I've been, standing still these 20 years. It takes a toll on my body. So I try to, in moderation when I'm not in camp, to take care of myself as much as possible. Because I always put myself through hell in camp so that when come fight time, that's the easy part.
Do you take it personal that when they mention the top 5 welterweights, because when you were coming up, everyone was projecting you as quite possibly a future world champion, especially at the welterweight division, even when you're at the lower weights. But do you take pride in knowing that you're right there, or does it anger you that they say Spence, Crawford, or C, or Porter, and so on and so forth?
I stay in my lane. Congratulations to those guys for reaching the level in their career that they have. Congratulations to Spence for winning that big fight against Mikey. Congratulations to Crawford for becoming one of the best fighters in the world. My hats off to those guys because we're all in this together. We're all fighters and we all know how tough it is for each other. We might talk a little bit of smack here and there, but at the end of the day, we're all in the same sport and we all suffer the same way. We all make weight the same way. We all have to fight and go through injuries and get hit. So no, man. I'm just waiting for my time. I'm waiting my turn. I'm trying my best to stay healthy, and just trying my best to when it comes time to fight, just win. That's it.
How'd you feel after the Molina fight, physically?
Good. I felt good. My hand was hurting, my knee was hurting, but I thought it was just the normal, the routine that everybody. Your hands always hurt. You went through a lot during training, and you went through a lot during the fight, but. My hand's still kind of hurting a little bit, and my knee also. So it's kind of like I'm getting older too. So my body, I'm no 29.
Okay.
So in fighting age,
definitely. In fighting age, yeah.
Like I said, I've been fighting for 22, 23 years now. So that especially that alone, most fighters don't even spend 20 years in their careers. And I've already surpassed that, and I still want to do this for another, hopefully God willing, another 5-6 years. If God permits, if my body permits, if health permits, and so I don't know what else. I'm trying my best. It's not like I'm doing it myself. I know how hard boxing is, especially if I make it harder for myself. So I'm not doing this shit on purpose, and I just want to fight.
What led me to that is because people have inside. People say they have inside sources. I say I have inside sources. I don't live in Texas.
Nobody does.
Nobody. Yeah, you know what I mean. And they say Omar Figueroa don't believe he can make weight, so he's not taking the fight. Omar Figueroa is faking an injury. So and I rather just before I put the word out there on my platform, I rather hear it from you, and then we can move forward. And
I don't know where all these people seem to know more about my life than I do. They come up with stuff and I'm like, I didn't even know I did that. So I have a really small circle. I've never I've been boxing my whole life, and boxing is a solitary sport. So aside from that, I've never had anybody. So you heard it from me here now. Don't believe anything anyone says, because nobody knows. I live alone. I mingle with my family more times, more often than not, and that's it. So if anybody knows, if anybody says anything, they don't know. But that's what creates hype, and that's what people like, and so it's like, hey, fuck it. They keep me in the mouths of people. They keep me on the news, with whether it's good or bad. I'm still out there because I don't like to do that myself. So, but no, man, I'm just trying my best. I'm trying my best to be a good person, to be a good human, to be a good father. And the rest is secondary to me.
For champions, who would you want first?
Whoever. I don't care.
You really don't care.
I honestly, I cannot stress enough how much I do not care.
Would you like to throw your name in the hat to face Errol Spence in Texas, since you're from Texas?
Whenever. I've talked to him, and I've told him, I was like, hey, if that fight ever wants to happen, but I want to make sure that I'm healthy first. That's the thing, because Spence is dangerous, and he's one of the guys that I don't want to face, at 80% or 70%, like my last fight when I was, I wasn't even close to 100%, but I know that with Spence, I won't be able to do that. I won't have that luxury, so I want to make sure that I'm 100% physically and mentally, and then we'll make that fight happen whenever.
You watch him and say, because you're one of the people to beat him, probably the last person to beat him, maybe, outside of the Olympic trials. Do you man, I can bust his ass, well, not that it's not a competitive fight, but you on a couch watching him fight,
no, I don't think that. Because I know that he's gotten so much more better, since the last fight, since we last fought especially. But no, I see him getting better every fight, and I would love to fight him, just because I know that it would present one of the biggest challenges, if not the biggest challenge I've ever faced in the ring. So I'm excited for that, if it ever does come to fruition. And it'll be a huge fight for Texas.
It's a great fight in Texas. What happened with you and Adrian Broner? How did that fight fall out?
I injured myself a few years back on my jet skis being stupid, and which I don't use anymore, for the record. And so it was just a lingering injury that it came up when I was preparing for Broner in 2017, I believe, or I don't remember. 2018. So we had to cancel it, and we tried getting back together, but by that time he had already signed the fight with Pacquiao, so we lost out.
Regret that after you saw what happened with him and Pacquiao? It's a lot of money.
Well, I regretted it as soon as it happened, because I knew it was going to happen. So,
how does negotiations work from your end? Is it just so the fans can understand? They contact you and give you a list of opponents, or you allow your dad to do the work, or is your dad still your manager?
No.
Okay. So who's your manager now? Let me ask.
Heyman.
Oh, okay, Al Heyman, and only guy you deal with. So you actually get on the phone and call Al, and you say, "This is what I want. This is what I do."
Yeah, he asks me, and I'm like, "Yeah, that's fine." He's like, "Do you want to fight this guy?" I'm like, "Yes, I'll fight him." He's like, "You want to fight this guy?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll fight him." And so I feel like I'm the easiest boxer to work with, because I'm just like, I just want to fight. Just get me in the ring. I don't care.
Who were you with prior to PBC?
Golden Boy.
How was that? What was that like in comparison to PBC now?
It was good. Golden Boy took care of me. It's pretty much the same thing, just a different organization. That's it.
And how many fights? How many years you got left?
I want to say I don't want to fight past 35. That I make it to 35, I don't know, but definitely I don't want to fight past 35. Unless I get one of those Mayweather fights where they're paying me $300 million or something. Shit, I'll come back.
Well, you gotta start using the media more. You gotta start calling us.
I know. I'll come back at 45 and fight for that much, you know.
Yeah,
but I mean,
right.
But other than that, I don't foresee it happening.
Robert Guerrero, you look like a world beater. John Molina, you look like a very good fighter. What happened in between those two?
Well, nothing really. What happened was, it's just some stuff that happens in camps, you know, and you know, I don't want to go into detail. It doesn't matter.
I just don't get a chance to interview you office. I'm just
Guerrero, if I was 47, so it was a lot easier for me to. I mean, for Molina, I was under 47 for like 2 weeks, so you know, 47 is a lot easier for me to make. And then, you know, like I said, stuff happens, and you know, stuff that you don't foresee and that you can't really plan for, don't want to plan for, but you know, it's just. I try my best. Like I said, it's not like I want to get fined the hundreds of thousands of dollars that I get fined for not making weight, you know, but there's not much I can do at that point.
It seems like that's the only thing, in my humble opinion, I don't get to speak to you much, is just the weight, you know, like every time I say, oh, who's Omar Figueroa, he's fighting, you know, I call Broner's camp, I call Broner's saying, well, that motherfucker can't make weight, we ain't gonna fight him, and you know what I mean?
That's a good excuse,
yeah,
and you know, so it's a good excuse for them not to fight me, because I know that they don't want to fight me anyway.
Well, you got another chance.
Yeah, I mean,
get it again. It makes sense. That fight makes sense.
It does, especially for me. But yeah, I mean, I don't care. I don't care who I fight.
Sergio Lipinets makes a whole lot of sense.
That one too. I heard he had a good fight. I heard he had a good fight with, I don't know who, Peterson, didn't you? Right?
Yeah,
Somebody
Peterson,
was just telling me about
he
that.
Just beat him.
I mean, I don't care who I fight. I just
want to see you more, man. That's it. Whether you're at the fights,
I get paid to fight, so I want to fight more too.
Appreciate you, man. I haven't seen you in a long time.
Yes, sir.
I was here when I was covering you.
No problem.
Long
Keep up
time
the good
ago.
work,
Appreciate
man.
you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.